Please welcome Corine Jansen.
When I entered the room, he had a small English licorice in his hand, and he gave it to his neighbor. He sat at a man's table and sang songs of yesteryear. He is 88 years old. His wife is living in the apartment next to the nursing home. When we enter his room, he starts to cry spontaneously. Life is tough. Life is so tough. And the tears come in abundance. I ask him, where are you in your thoughts right now? In the Dutch East Indies. I was so scared over there. No homesick, no nostalgia, just very scared. And there were 2 minutes of silence. Softly I took his hands and I called the places Bandung, Bohor, Sukabumi. And he looks up and his eyes become big. And I said, Kamu Sinta. It means you're sweet in the language of Indonesia. And tears give way to intense laughter. We were greatly attached that moment. I was greatly attached to a stranger. This was something where I tremendously longed for as a child of a mother with borderline personality disorder. My mother used every resource to force me into her created reality. Money, guilt, fear, threat. I was always very tense when I arrived home from school, waiting for her to fly off the handle again. Never knowing what I did, but always figuring out it was my fault. I always run away, scared to death, waited when she finally got her claws in me. And then one day, I came home very sad. My boyfriend and I broke up, and I had to cry a lot. And I never forget the reaction of my mother. So, well, isn't this a wonderful moment? Well, let's celebrate, dear. Let's open a bottle of wine. She became drunk that evening, drunk of happiness. But the next morning, she was silent, too upset to speak to me. She was just lying on a couch and didn't do anything. She just had so much trouble relating to people, relating to me. And it is because of my mother's illness and the early death of my father that I got to know the world of healthcare at a very young age. And because the choices I made in life, I've got to know to learn the healthcare world from the inside. And what lack of listening means in life of patients and their informal caregivers. When my mother died 18 years ago, I found a garbage bag full of unused medicine. And I went to her GP and he told me, but Corine, I always gave her medicine every time she visited me. And I said, okay, medicine, but did you ever give her a listening ear? How difficult is it to listen to someone just for a few minutes? Well, it's very difficult. Why? Because we have to choose to listen to someone. We have to put our ego in the hallway and put aside our assumptions and judgments and just be there for the other person. People are empowered when they feel worthwhile as human beings. And respected by their doctors, they feel much more comfortable to share their presenting problems. And therefore, we need a partnership, because a good doctor is not only about science, it's about understanding people too. So, when we create a partnership between patients and doctors, we can provide much more humane healthcare, and we can provide the best possible situation for patients. And of course, I know we can't force anyone to listen to us. But, well, let's set an example and let's put our hearts into every dialogue we have with people and let them know we listen to them and be connected, as I was with the old man. Because look at us now. It's 2015 and listening is optional. Listening is optional in the Netherlands. Doctors can choose to listen. Why? Because insurance companies reimburse doctors for having conversations with patients about how and whether they want to be kept alive if they are too sick to speak for themselves. The basic of human connection became an insurance code. Listening became part of a system. It was an early sunny day in May when I entered a wonderful home with an old lady, and she made a little cup of tea for me, but she put a table for me, and I wanted to put my tea on it, and she says, "No, that's for the urn of my husband, Tom. I have to put Tom on it." And I said, "Okay." Yes, she says, "You don't mind, do you?" In all those 66 years we were married, I never spoke with anyone without Tom. So he needs to be here too. I was a little taken back. But I said, of course, Tom can be here too. So, because she was talking to him directly, I said, "Hi, Tom." So, we were sitting there with the three of us. And she shared her story. She became ill 6 years ago. She got breast cancer. And Tom and she decided to do everything about it to become better. And she got better. But it seems that Tom was very ill. Very ill. He died 6 weeks later. And this old lady became ill again. The cancer returned. But now, she wouldn't do anything to become better. Why should she? Tom already died. But her physician told her, "You have to come to the hospital every week for chemo." "No, Corine, I won't do that. I just want something for the pain, only for the pain." "But that's not protocol," her physician told her. "I don't mind. I'm ready to die." And then she looked at me very clearly and she said, "Listen to me, hear me, see me. I am a human being. I don't want to fit in a protocol. I am unique." And she died a few months later, very peacefully, without chemo. As a child and teenager, I had to feel the need to be heard, to be seen, to be connected, to be unique in a way my mother could not provide. But she learned me something very special. Her behavior made me flexible. She made me strong. She made me sensitive. But most of all, she learned me that you always have to look through the eyes of the other person. Because I had to look through her eyes, because her perception of the world was my reality. So through life, I experienced that listening enriches the lives of human beings. And all those human beings I've listened to enriched my life too. So let me ask you, please, tomorrow, if you wake up after this wonderful day, choose to listen to someone in your life without judgments, without assumptions. Just be there for the other person and connect. Thank you.